Nashville Public Radio serves Middle Tennessee in many ways every day, including through this podcast. You can support it by leaving a review or rating, by telling a friend about it, or by contributing at WPLN.org/give. This is the Nashvillager Podcast. It's June 25th, 2025. On this day in 1848, a newfangled type of journalism got its start: photojournalism. It happened in Paris during the June Days workers' strike. An image was captured of barricades in the streets, and that photo would become a wood engraving that, a few days later, appeared in a French weekly paired with a news article. For this podcast, today, there are almost as many steps to getting the news to you, but they're all quite a bit faster. I'm Tony Gonzalez, in for Nina Cardona, and this is your daily digest of what's happening around Middle Tennessee from Nashville Public Radio, WPLN News. In just a few minutes, we'll have the latest edition of What Where Wednesday with a tie-in to this week's Nashville Pride celebration. That's coming up after this newscast. And here's the latest from WPLN News. A heat advisory remains in effect through Friday evening. Today's high, maybe the highest, will be near 98 degrees, with a heat index as high as 107. With this in mind, Nashville is implementing some emergency measures this week. The city's social services agency is providing emergency meal boxes to its clients. Staff that drop off the boxes are checking that air conditioning is working at the clients' homes. The agency is also calling seniors and disabled persons in their welfare program. Other groups and agencies are also offering heat assistance. The Office of Homeless Services is distributing water, bus passes, and sunscreen. The Nashville Library is open at each location except the main library. And Nashville's Emergency Management Agency has deployed volunteers to hand out water and look for signs of heat illness among people outside. A federal court in Nashville will soon determine if Kilmar Abrigo Garcia, the man wrongly deported to El Salvador, will be released before his trial. A federal judge has already ruled that Abrigo Garcia has a right to bail, but that doesn't mean that he'll be able to leave custody. WPLN's Miriam reports that a hearing today will determine the conditions of his release.
Despite the judge's ruling, Abrigo Garcia could remain in federal custody or be deported before his trial. Immigration and Customs enforcement officials are expected to detain the 29-year-old construction worker upon his release from jail. Abrigo Garcia pleaded not guilty to charges of human smuggling less than a week after his return to the U.S. from a prison in El Salvador. Prosecutors say he made hundreds of thousands of dollars a year transporting people without legal status. The judge has expressed skepticism of the charges, and the defense has argued that the trial is meant to cover up his wrongful deportation. Mariana Bacallao, WPLN News.
The American Civil Liberties Union has filed a lawsuit challenging the new Tennessee law that criminalizes local officials who vote in favor of sanctuary city policies. The law makes it a felony for local officials to support or enact policies that prohibit cooperation between local government and federal immigration enforcement. The Class E felony is punishable by up to 6 years in prison and a $3,000 fine. Sanctuary city policies are already prohibited in Tennessee under a state law from 2019. The ACLU of Tennessee filed the challenge on behalf of 7 members of Nashville's Metro Council, claiming the law is in violation of the First Amendment. Councilmember Clay Capp said it's not a crime to disagree with the government.
Free speech and debate are how I learn from the people I represent, and it's also how I advocate for them. That's the essence of a representative government.
The suit was filed in the Chancery Court of Davidson County. The Covenant School is getting a new home. The school is under a short-term lease at its current campus and must relocate after the 2026-2027 school year. It's set to purchase 7 lots across 14 acres in West Nashville. Covenant's head of school announced that she is excited to create a fresh start. In March 2023, a shooting at the private Christian school left 3 children and 3 adults dead. The new location's property owners are a couple whose family has lived in the area for more than 70 years. The husband, a Nashville native, says they are honored to support the Covenant School. The project will go through the Metro Planning Department's approval process in the next few weeks. To help with its relocation, the school has launched the This Is the Day fundraising campaign. Metro Police have expressed concern about a state trooper sweeping in to take over a standard traffic stop last month involving a Spanish-speaking driver. The incident occurred during the multi-day immigration sweep led by state and federal law enforcement. Metro Police were not part of the coordinated effort. The Nashville Banner obtained the body cam footage through an open records request. It shows the Metro officer pulled over a driver for a suspended tag on Murfreesboro Road. While talking to the driver, a state trooper walks up and says he's accompanied by federal agents.
You mind if we take this over?
You want to take this over?
Yeah.
I ain't got a problem with it,
Okay,
but I was just going to run this real quick, but if you want to take it, you take it.
We'll take it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
The Metro officer called his supervisor to report the unwelcome takeover. The department then met with state law enforcement to review the footage. The Tennessee Highway Patrol has maintained that all stops during the sweep were valid, but the Banner reports this incident shows a non-moving violation that was unrelated to public safety. In a statement, the THP acknowledges the trooper's actions were, quote, unusual and not reflective of standard procedure. The incident has led to clarified guidance going forward. And Nashville's police chief has been cleared of wrongdoing in an internal probe into an intimate relationship. The Tennessean reports MNPD's internal affairs investigators found that Chief John Drake's relationship with a Metro employee did not involve encounters while the chief was on duty, and that it did not involve city vehicles or phones. The allegations stemmed from the female employee's ex-husband, who has been charged with stalking her. The internal affairs report says his allegations were inconsistent and partially recanted. You'll find more news anytime at WPLN.org. And now it's time for the latest edition of What Where Wednesday with Marquise Munson from our sister station, WNXP.
I'm Marquise Munson here with another edition of Nashville Public Radio's What Where Wednesday, keeping you up to date with the happenings in Nashville this week. Live music opportunities start tonight with Nashville band Pressure Heaven at the OG Basement, and at the Basement East, NPR Music presents Tiny Desk Contest on the Road. On Thursday night, Coco Jones is at the Ryman, and Flamingo Cocktail Lounge presents The Move, featuring Summer Joy, Olivia Jones, and current WNXP Nashville Artist of the Month, Jaron Blair. At Exit In on Saturday night, The New Respects performs, and on Sunday, rapper Billy Woods will be at the Blue Room. Our list wraps up next week, back at the Blue Room on Tuesday with Lifeguard, and for more events, head over to WNXP.org/events. This week is also Nashville Pride with the festival and parade this weekend. One of the grand marshals this year is former WNXP Nashville Artist of the Month, Joy Aladakun, and performers include Chrysalis, Estelle, Kim Petras, Four Non Blondes, and Big Frida with Nashville in Harmony. There's also interactive booths throughout Bicentennial Park, including one for Nashville Cares, which celebrates a big milestone this year.
My name is Kasim Borja. I'm the medical director for Nashville Cares, and I joined the organization in August of last year. Nashville Cares is started as a case management organization around 40 years ago, and we'll be celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. And over the years, it has expanded its scope in terms of treating as well as supporting patients living with HIV. Currently, we provide a wide scope of services, starting with case management, social services, housing support, food support, and in addition to clinical management for HIV treatment as well as HIV prevention. Currently, the organization serves 50,000 people every year. In terms of HIV prevention, HIV education, social work, as well as case management. And our clinic currently serves around 1,000 patients with different types of HIV prevention treatment as well as STI prevention and treatment services. And in order to support the community, to show the community that we are still there and that we are still fighting for people to have equitable and dignified healthcare. So we're really excited because we just moved back to our renovated offices on Thompson Lane, a few miles from downtown. And currently, everyone can access our services regardless of their insurance coverage. We do not charge patients for any of the services to provide because we strongly believe that healthcare is a human right and access to healthcare should be equitable and available for everyone. We believe that Pride is much more than just a festival or a celebration. Pride is an event that would allow us to be there with the community, to serve the community, and also to show that our unquestionable support for the community. Nashville Cares has started in order to fight the stigma and to fight the discrimination against HIV. And we strongly believe that being part of Pride festivals, when a lot of other organizations have withdrawn, have taken a back seat, is a great opportunity to show the community that we are here, we are still supporting them, but also it is another great opportunity for us to provide much needed services for the community beyond showing the support. We will be there in order to provide HIV treatment and prevention education, in order to provide free and anonymous HIV testing, to link patients with HIV prevention services, and also to allow the patients to learn a little bit more about the different kinds of services that we provide here at the organization, how they can access them in a free and access those services in a free and equitable fashion.
Nashville Cares will have an interactive booth with a Greatest Showman theme featuring a photo mural, games, and free rapid HIV testing along with PrEP and PrEP 211 service. For more information about Nashville Cares and other events happening this week, visit WNXP.org. My name is Marquise Munson, and thank you for listening to another edition of What Were Wednesday.
My angel sent has not yet risen.
Thanks for listening to the Nashvillager podcast. We delve into Nashville news every weekday. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and tell a friend or mention us on your social media. It really does help to get the word out. That's it for today. I hope you learned a little something, and we're back with more tomorrow.